The Divine Physician is one of the most quietly profound cards in the Akashic Tarot because it speaks not merely of healing, but of sacred restoration, the mysterious force through which life repairs what the human mind thinks is broken. The imagery usually depicts a radiant healer or saint-like figure dressed in luminous robes, often surrounded by soft golden or emerald light, standing within a temple-like chamber or healing sanctuary. In many depictions, the figure's hands are extended in blessing or healing, and beams of light or energy flow outward from the palms, chest, or crown. Sometimes another person appears before them in need of healing, symbolizing the wounded self, the suffering seeker, or humanity at large. The atmosphere of the card is serene, sacred, and almost clinical in a divine sense, not sentimental healing, but precise spiritual medicine. Every detail in the image implies that healing is not random chaos, but an intelligent force, that the universe, nature, body, and spirit possess an intrinsic blueprint for repair. The physician in this card is not merely a doctor of flesh, but an archetype of divine intelligence. The healer who understands that wounds may be physical, emotional, psychological, karmic, ancestral, or spiritual, and that true healing often begins where ordinary remedies fail. In upright meaning, this card signifies healing, recovery, restoration, guidance from healers, teachers, therapists, divine intervention, energetic cleansing, emotional repair, medical support, and the awakening of one's own healing abilities. It may appear when someone is entering a season of recovery after trauma, illness, heartbreak, burnout, or spiritual exhaustion. It can indicate that help is available through therapy, medicine, mentors, healers, rest, prayer, discipline, or grace itself. For practitioners, it may signal that the querent is being called into a healer's role, learning to guide others through pain because they have walked through enough of their own darkness to understand suffering intimately. This card also reminds us that healing is often not dramatic. It is cellular, gradual, repetitive, sometimes boring, sometimes frustrating. Bones do not mend by applause. Nervous systems do not regulate because of pretty affirmations. The divine physician teaches that genuine healing is a process of patient reconstruction. On a deeper spiritual level, the card suggests that many wounds are invitations. Harsh teachers, yes, but teachers nonetheless. It points toward the notion that pain often reveals what in us has been neglected, suppressed, denied, or poisoned. Illness may expose imbalance. Heartbreak may expose dependency. Anxiety may expose unresolved fear. Exhaustion may expose a life built against one's nature. Thus, this card often arrives when suffering itself is becoming diagnostic, showing the seeker where healing is required. Its shadow side is where the card becomes stern. In shadow, the divine physician warns against healer complexes, spiritual bypassing through healing work, dependency on gurus, healers, obsession with being perpetually wounded, refusal to seek practical treatment, or believing all pain can be solved by mystical means alone. Some people become addicted to healing as an identity. They are forever working on themselves, forever processing, forever cleansing, forever attending workshops, yet somehow never changing. Others become so enchanted by spiritual healing language that they ignore practical realities. They chant over infection instead of seeing a doctor, meditate over abuse instead of leaving, speak of energy shifts while neglecting basic psychological accountability. The card can also warn of false healers, those who wear the costume of wisdom but prey on vulnerability. Not everyone with a soft voice and crystals is enlightened. Some are simply running a business with incense. Discernment matters.
Psychologically, this card often appears when the lesson is this: healing requires honesty before it requires comfort. You cannot heal what you romanticize. You cannot repair what you refuse to diagnose. You cannot transcend what you will not first confront. At its highest, the divine physician whispers a timeless truth. Within creation exists an intelligence that knows how to mend what has been torn, but you must participate in your own healing. If you want, I can continue with the next Akashic Major Arcana card after this in the same expanded style.